What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Today's video is going to be why women want high-value men but date jailbirds. Before I get into the video, I got to do the YouTube stuff. The goal is 10,000 subscribers by June. It's a crazy goal, but it's my goal. Y'all can help me get there by just hitting the like and the subscribe button. All right, give me the HBO special. You know what the HBO special is? That's the Help a Brother Out special. All right, so go and hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Go ahead, I'm going to give you a second to hit it. All right, now that that's over, let's get into the video. Why women want high-value men but date jailbirds. There will be a link in the description below. Let's go.
Hello everyone, I'm Janae Moore with More Awareness, and today I'm going to talk about why it seems as if women like jailbirds. But before I get started, please like, subscribe, and share, comment what you think as well. So I've heard women say all the best men are in prison. And it makes you wonder, what the hell is she talking about? How are all the best men in prison? How what is she saying, that like these guys who've committed crimes are like men? So men are considered what? Like you have to go to jail, like you have to be a bad person, do bad things? Like that doesn't make any sense. No, that doesn't make any sense. But when we consider the certain men that they're talking about, because they're not talking about murderers, hopefully. They're not talking about pedophiles. They're not talking about those type of men. The men that they're talking about are usually drug dealers.
Which are in the category, arguably, with murderers. Sometimes, I'm not saying every time, but every now and then you got to get your hands dirty. All right, competition starts boosting up in another neighborhood or on your block. How you gonna handle it? You gonna go get the police? Let's continue. I guess you just separate. I'm not saying every drug dealer, because I know some people got to get their money. I ain't knocking nobody hustle over here. That's not what I do. I get money and drink water and worry about mine. So I ain't knocking nobody hustle. You do what you got to do to put food on whoever table. Okay? But what I'm saying is those two aren't always exclusive. Sometimes them two combine. Let's continue. Now, regardless of if you got caught for it or not, it's that. But
And I know that it's bad, illegal. They should do the right thing, yes. But the thing that attracts these women to these men so much is that they have a provider mentality. They have a protect and provide mentality. And a lot of those men take care of their woman, take care of their mother, take care of the women in their lives. And so they do that at any cost. And a lot of those men don't have access. They may be of a very low class where they don't have the network, they don't have the know-how, they don't have the education to do that. And of course, some people say, well, there's no excuse for that. But
I call shenanigans, and I'm one of them people that say there's no excuse for that. All right? You can always build yourself up. That's why we here in America. And I don't know how y'all feel, but this is the greatest country in the world to me, personally, as an American. All right? This is a place where you can start with nothing and build yourself up to become a multimillionaire. There's nothing stopping you. Regardless, I'm black, I'm a woman, I'm this. Okay, what? Okay, now what? You just gonna sit there and keep complaining because the world don't care about complaints? The world only cares about production. The world only cares about efficiency. Okay? The world only cares about what you put out, what you produce. All right? They don't care about your excuses, regardless. So I'm going to have to be the one to argue that notion. I don't care about what you're doing. There's always another way. Let's continue.
But there kind of is. Because when you don't grow up with certain access and certain resources, and you have a provider mentality and you're not willing to just do what everybody else is doing around you, working at gas stations or being an employee somewhere, when you have a entrepreneurial businessman leadership mentality, but you don't have any access to anything but the basic mundane, like $8 an hour jobs, and probably even less back then.
It's crazy how women will literally go out and juggle on a unicycle. They will do everything it is to to sympathize with these men who are criminals. There are plenty of good guys out there that's not risking that quote unquote ambitious lifestyle. If you really cared about the people that's around you, you would live for them and not die for them. Okay? You're no good if you're dead. You're no good if you're in jail. If you truly care, like she says, they provide for the women around them, this and this and that. If you were truly a provider, you would think about the long term. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. You get out there and you start trying to sell drugs, it's going to last. You get out there, you trying to do OnlyFans, it's going to last for a month, 2 months. But then what is it going to do to your legacy? What is it going to do to who you become in the future? Who you can become in the future? All right? Y'all talking about him holding women down. You gonna be the one holding him down when he doing that 25-year bid. Are you ready for that? You ready for that life? Seeing your husband or boyfriend, whoever it may be, probably boyfriend, unless they get in jail and now they want to get married. Right? Are you gonna be the one that's able to hold down the fort while he's doing a 10-year, 15-year bid because he's been selling drugs, trying to provide for his family? Now he's good for nothing.
Versus drugs. When you see that the people that have the most money in your community are drug dealers and you have a business mind, you're going to do things at all costs. And women can see potential, and women are very attracted to a provider and a man who's a go-getter and a man who's a doer and it takes care of business and handles things. And those men usually do, but the problem is it's illegal. And so they go to prison, and then the women are like, oh, the good men are in prison. Like all these guys who are just, and I can already hear you guys like, oh, so I'm just nothing because I'm just out here doing the right thing. Like, no, that's not what it is. It's just that guys who tend to just,
it's just that I want to use him. I want to date the guy that has the drug dealer until he goes to prison. Then I want you. That's what it's just. So she's talking to the guys that work 9 to 5s now. And what she should be saying is, yeah, I just want to mess with this guy from my early 20s, get pregnant by him. And then the 9 to 5 guy, I'll be there. Okay. By the time you hit manager position, or regional manager, or whatever it is, and you worked your way, started your career from scratch. All right. Once you worked your way up and you in your 30s, 35, 40, now that's when I would rather come back, because whoever I was dealing with, the drug dealer, he's still doing his 15-year bid that he got when he was 22.
Be average. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's boring. Like average, just mundane. And it's not like, I don't mean average like, oh, you are an employee, because any employee that's not always average. But if you're willing to just be a cashier and then try to move your way up, and then you're also like, but girl, you got to work too, and we're going 50-50, and I need this and all these demands, like, versus a guy who's like, I got you, I'm gonna take care of you, I want to get your nails done, I want to get your hair done, I want to do this, I want to do that for you, come on, actually I'm about to go get it right now, here, how much money do you need? Bam, 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 I got you, girl, you this. Like, that's so attractive. It's so attractive. It just is. And
you'll be single. You'll be a single mother when you're 30. It just is, right? Since we just saying what it is and what it just is, you'll more than likely, statistically speaking, be a single mother when you're 30. And if you're fine with that, keep down that road and take this advice and think that it's cool to want to date men that are doing, unethical things. But it is what it is. If that's what the route you want to take, don't expect this person, to be able to take you on a picnic if he's slanging narcotics on the streets. All right, he's a very busy person, and it's a cutthroat market. So if he ends up dead and your child is left, and it ain't like you got no life insurance or anything, or any health insurance. So now the man is dead or in prison and out of your child's life, and your child has to watch them behind bars or go visit his grave yearly. That's what you're looking forward to. That's what you're looking for. It doesn't end but two ways. You hardly ever see a drug dealer that just sold drugs all his life and then just sails off into the sunset. You hardly ever hear that story. That's because it doesn't really happen that often. These people end up dead or in prison. But let's continue.
Why wouldn't a woman want that? That's why a lot of women are saying, man, the men. It's not that they did something illegal. It's their mentality, and it's their provider, and it's their go-getter, and it's their strong, and their, so they just have that masculine thing, not this like, I'll just do what? I'll just go by the rules and go on paper, and it's just boring. Yeah, you need to do it too, and live a mundane life. And not saying that like living a regular life is bad. I'm just saying that for women who are into high value men and into being provided for, which honestly is all women are into being provided for. That's just matter of fact. I actually was watching something, Kevin Samuels, and he said all women, no matter what race, all women want to be provided for. They wanted providers. So
Right, but did you catch the part where he said you won't? Shout out to Kevin Samuels, by the way. Go check him out if you haven't. But did you catch the part where he said most women will not obtain these men? That part always seems to seep out. The part where he says women pursuing these men that are not ready to pursue these men will probably end up single and alone. That's the part you missed, huh? You just missed that clip. But you did hear the part where all women want a man to provide for them. What's so wrong with me providing for you by my means? If this is what I have and I give you everything I have, what's wrong with that? It's never good enough. It's always this idea, a thought that you didn't had that you since you were 6, because you've been watching Cinderella and Princess and the Frog and all these Disney shows that tells you just get married with the guy. Every girl gets a guy, they get married to him and just go off into the sunset. That's why you have this thought of love or what it is to provide for a person. Providing is giving you a secure, if you want to really be a provider, you have to think about security. I don't understand how you think you can be a provider and you're not thinking about longevity and security. Those are probably the two most important things of providing. Consistency. How are you a provider if you're not consistent? You're not wrong with no check. Look, men, don't let nobody tell you it's something wrong with a check. All right? I don't care about what nobody talking about. I don't care how big I get or anybody else get. Don't let nobody check you for trying to go get your check. It's that simple. Get money, drink water. That's all you got to do. And you going to get there eventually. You going to get to the finish line. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You see people come out the gate, sprinting down the line. Next thing you know, they hit a big old roadblock when they go to prison for 15 years. Let's continue.
You can't really get out of that. Submission comes with a cost. It comes with a cost. And women aren't wanting to submit to men who aren't providing. Women just don't want to. Why? We're equally doing stuff like Why? But those men that are jailbirds or in jails or Tyrones and the Ray Rays or whatever you call them, they are providing. And so those women are willing to submit to them because they are willing to provide for her at all cost. And that is honorable. That idea. Now, of course, they just need to do something else, but that they have entrepreneurial businessman mindsets. They have provider mentalities. And that, my man, is what attracts women. It's not that we like men that are locked up. Okay? It's not that we like that. That's not the case. It's just the mentality behind the men who are locked up. And a lot of them are just, man, I know a lot of women that know a guy that's like, oh, he's a, of course we know shitty ones too. Now we're not saying all the men in jail. Do not get it twisted. Okay, we are not saying all the men in jail, in prison, are good men. That's not what we're saying at all. It's a certain percentage. It's a certain percentage. Do I know the percentage? No, but I know that this is something that's out there. I know that this is how a lot of men and women feel. So there is a percentage of them that women really like their mentality and they really just got into the wrong things trying to be that provider. So tell me what you guys think about that. Let me know what experience you have and maybe some comments or.
Okay, that looks like that's the end of the video. My final thoughts on this idea is keep that shit away from me. If I'm grinding to a better future If you have these mentalities where you feel like I have to risk my entire life, our relationship, the future of our children, just so I can provide momentarily, most drug dealers aren't these kingpins that Hollywood has led you to believe. Most drug dealers are nickel and dime on the corner for hours for minimum wage, sometimes lower than. It's not a luxurious lifestyle. That, and you're always avoiding death. Okay, it's not a luxurious lifestyle. You're avoiding death and you're avoiding prison. If that's what you want, do you? All right, keep the men that are trying to grind for their future out of the situation. Don't have me into it at all. If you want a dude that's willing to go to if you want a guy that's willing to die for you instead of a man that's willing to live and die for you, then you go over there and you deal with the drug dealers. Let me keep hustling, keep grinding, so that in the future I can be one of the dudes you really want, which is a guy that can provide consistently. Unfortunately, by then you'll probably have a child. If not, you'll have hella baggage from being abused by a drug dealer. But that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. And then you'll probably complain that there's no good guys. Keep that to yourself. All right, y'all. Till next time.